Great.
This will be actually a smaller group of participants.
Oh,
so
smaller group, huh?
yeah, you won't be like the previous session lah. Okay, but we shall start it at 10 lah sharp.
Okay. This is combination of the program, right? Vivek? Or you specific to the certain program? MBA.
This combination, a combination of MBA and also
Okay.
doctoral. Yeah.
Okay. PhD, right? Okay, doctoral.
Is it just my computer or everyone? Because I can see everyone punya picture not very clear. It's not very sharp.
Not very sharp. But mine is okay. Mine is okay,
Yeah?
Dr. Sharin.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is also okay, Dr. Sharin.
I mean, I can see mine very, very clear, but I see others macam a bit more,
a bit blur. Yeah.
A bit blurrish lah. It's not
blurrish,
really sharp.
Not really sharp, huh? I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Dr. Hanan, Dr. Hanan. Oh, okay.
All right, Vivek, shall we start? 10 o'clock. All right, okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I bid to all, especially to our Dean of UKM Graduate School of Business, Professor Dr. Zafir Khan Muhammad Makbul. And of course, with our today is our very own dear adjunct professor, Insinyur Dr. Muhammad Shahrin Zainuri Madrus. And of course, yes, again, here with us today, the director of our Strategic Business Unit, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Fairuz. And yes, we do have our Senior Assistant Registrar, Encik Aizuddin there in the red shirt. And of course, our Marketing Executive, Mr. Vivek. And I guess will be here with us today is also our staff member, which is Mrs. Kalsum Kasim, which is the admin assistant for the Mba program, and also Mrs. Nurul Ain, which is the admin assistant of the doctoral program. And not to forget is Mrs. Nurul Hasya is also our admin assistant for the doctoral program. So basically, here's the staff members that you will be seeing, inshallah, if you are continuing your journey here in UKM GSB. And of course, without further ado, I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Zafir Khan Muhammad Makbul first to give out a few words before we proceed with our key speaker, Insinyur Dr. Muhammad Shahrin Madrus. Please welcome, Prof.
Thank you very much,
yes,
Chairperson Shami, and the rest of my colleagues, especially to Dr. Shahrin, Dr. Shahrin Madrus. Dr. Shahrin is our professor adjunct. He's adjunct professor at UKM GSB. And we have with us today, this morning, Associate Professor Dr. Fairuz is the SBU Director. Yeah. Okay, so how are you? Everything, I mean, everyone is okay this morning? Yeah?
Great.
I hope everyone is okay. I mean, as what I always mention, COVID is COVID. This is a new normal for us. Especially, we want to meet you physically, but unfortunately, we can't make it. Yeah, this is the engagement session with the students. Of UKM GSB. Yeah, I think you got offered already from UKM GSB, right? Yeah. So everyone, yeah. This is a very important session this morning. We would like to have more engagement with the students of UKM GSB. I will share with you a bit about UKM GSB, a background of UKM GSB. So I'm Professor Zafir, a Dean of UKM GSB, and I wish to congratulate each of you on securing your postgraduate place. Yeah. Basically, in today's global business landscape, disruption is a new normal. Yeah, every technological shift bring reaction that filter down to the workplace. Yeah. So before I move forward, I would like to share a few slides with all of you. Yeah. Can I share the slide now, Vivek?
Yes, you may, Prof. You may.
Okay. Okay. Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Great. Okay. Basically, we aim to be the nation top business school by 2024. Yeah. To achieve this, UKM GSB engaged with the industry and the community to create a synergy in educating our students to be responsible leaders. So UKM GSB strives to produce graduates who possess this quality equipped with good analytical, critical thinking and communication skills through experiential learning and our market relevant academic curricula. Basically, the mission of top business school is to be internationally recognized top business school in Malaysia in promoting continuous excellence in leadership, business and management education. Basically, this measurement aims to identify the most essential qualities to include in a measure of the top business school. So to become top business school, we have to fulfill a variety of criteria, including of research, industry and community linkages, internationalization, ethics and sustainability. Yeah. So these are among the few criteria which measure top business school. So actually, our plan is to promote business sustainability. So we are focusing on this business sustainability at UKM GSB. We believe that business plays a crucial role in providing us with a more stable future. To that end, we believe that business must be sustainable. Yeah, it must generate positive economic outcomes and promote the well-being of society and preserve the environment. Let's put simply, firms should create a virtuous cycle of value for all. Therefore, in line with our vision of rejuvenating business sustainability, we strive to produce responsible business leaders with the relevant knowledge and skills needed to drive business sustainability. So at UKM GSB, we believe sustainability is becoming more critical for all companies across all industries. Simply put, sustainability is a business approach to creating a long-term value by considering how a given organization operates in social and economic environment. So as you can see on this slide, so I mentioned just now about the sustainability. So we are focusing on the sustainability of the variety of areas such as sustainability of human resources, yeah, operations, marketing, finance, and economics. Yeah. So this is the campuses of UKM GSB. This is the main campuses at Bangi, UKM GSB, Menara KPJ, This is our branch of UKM GSB at Kuala Lumpur City Center. And we have also at Kota Kinabalu, University College Sabah Foundation, UCSF. So this is located at Kota Kinabalu. Yeah. This is a pillars of UKM GSB, UKM Graduate School Top Management, headed by me. I'm Prof. Zafir. My expertise is in human resource management and organizational management. Yeah. And we have also Deputy Dean of Research and Innovation, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Helmi Ali. So his expertise is in supply chain management. And we have also Deputy Dean Academic, Dr. Wan Muhammad Hirwani Wan Hussein, Associate Professor Dr. Wan Muhammad Hirwani Wan Hussein. So his expertise is in digital marketing, technology management, and also we have Director of Strategic Business Unit, Associate Professor Dr. Fairuz Muhammad Saleh. So his expertise is in the financial statement, accounting. Yeah. So this is a top management for UKM Graduate School of Business. And then UKM GSB, we have several professors at UKM GSB. At this point of time, we have 4 professors at UKM GSB. Yeah. Myself, as I said, I'm specialized in human resource management and organizational management. Yeah. And we have also Professor of Investment, which is Prof. Dr. Osman Yong. Yeah. And Professor of Finance and Economics, Professor Tan Sri, Datuk Sri Dr. Nur Azlan Ghazali. So he's in Finance and Economics. He's a very renowned professors specializing in finance and economics. Yeah. And then we have Professor Dr. Lau Suwa, specialized in finance and investments. Okay, so this is the adjunct professors for UKM Graduate School of Business. So at this point of time, we have 3 adjunct professors, which also involved in the teaching and learning activities at UKM Graduate School of Business. Yeah. So we have Tan Sri Shahril Samsudin, a former president and group CEO of Sapporo Energy. And we have with us today, this morning, Senior Dr. Muhammad Sharin Zainuddin bin Madrus, former CEO of Matrade, and we have Datuk Khairusari Ramli, Group Managing Director of Aacsb. Yeah. So these are the programs at UKM GSB. Yeah. We have the new PhD program with specialization in accounting. This is doctoral program, accounting, marketing, management, which focusing more on organizational behavior, human resource management, strategy operations, and also finance. Was introduced with the new improved Doctor of Business Administration. We have DBA also. The framework for DBA, which focusing on coursework and dissertation. So besides that, our MBA is unique in the marketplace, but they are also very contemporary and significant in today's business world. So these initiatives will certainly add color, experience, and values to our to your study life in UKM GSB. As you can see here, accreditation and affiliation is very important. So this is also the uniqueness of continuing studies at UKM GSB. So because we have Aacsb accredited and a BAS 21 accredited. So why Aacsb? As you know that moving forward into the new era, UKM GSB is very committed to being a global brand by establishing strategic partnership with internationally renowned business schools and increasing the enrollment of international students. It is with pride I express that UKM GSB has obtained world-class accreditation. As I mentioned, Aacsb is local entity accreditations. So we have, beside these two, like Aacsb and ABAS, we have to abide the rules set by the mission qualification agencies. Aacsb actually is an association to advance collegiate school of business. This is a global non-profit association. It's a connect educators, students, and businesses to achieve a common goal to create the next generation of great leaders. Actually, the Aacsb's mission is to foster engagement, accelerate innovation, and amplify impact in business education. Synonymous with the highest standard of excellence since 1916, Aacsb provides quality assurance, business education intelligence, and learning and development services to over 1,700 member education and more than 900 accredited business schools worldwide. So when educational, professional, and business organizations become members of this Aacsb, so they are part of a movement united to improve the quality of business education worldwide. So as Aacsb connects, shares, and inspires innovation and quality throughout the member network and the business community. So the collective strength of the organization is founded on diverse perspective, a global mindset, and a commitment to making a difference. So that's a benefit of continuing studies at UKM Graduate School of Business. Yeah, and beside Aacsb, as I mentioned, yeah, we also ABAS 21 accredited. Yeah, this is ABAS, as you can see on the slide, Alliance of Business Education and Scholarship for Tomorrow. This is to enhance the quality of management education at business schools. Yeah, so we are embarking on this ABAS 21, a 21st century education international accreditation. Basically, ABAS 21 mission is to advance education in business schools globally by encouraging the cooperation among its members institutions. So the mission can be accomplished through sharing the information on circular and teaching materials between the member institutions. ABAS 21 also provides advice and coordination for the member institutions in the research activities and encourage the members to advance global business education. Yeah, so this is related to the accreditation and inflation. So both of them are very important. Yeah, to those who are continuing studying at UKM Graduate School of Business. So besides that, we are also the members of members of Association of Asia Pacific Business Schools and member of European Foundation for Management Development, EFMD. Yeah, so okay, so this is the student enrollment at UKM Graduate School of Business. As you can see in the slide, yeah, so we have sorry, okay, the slide move very fast. Okay, student enrollment. Basically, as you can see in the slide, yeah, we have a total about 548 students. Yeah, 548 students, a total for the students enrollment at UKSB. So consists of MBA full-time, is 86 students at this point of time. Yeah, MBA part-time is 335. Yeah. And we have Masters of Marketing, Masters of Islamic Banking and Finance, so this is actually we consolidate this program under Master of Management by Research. Yeah, so still ongoing, still in the process of the accreditation, yeah, for Master of Management. And we have Doctor of Philosophy, yeah, 84 students at this point of time. Yeah, sorry, I think this is a technical. DBA is about 41. Yeah. Yeah, so which bring a total about 548. Yeah, the current enrollment at this point of time. And this is a more modern facilities for working professionals, as you can see in this slide. So this is selected facilities available at UKM Graduate School of Business. Yeah. So this is a point of view session and national forum at UKM GSB. So we organize several sessions at UKM GSB. To provide more knowledge to the students and to provide more experience to the students. Yeah. So as you can see in this slide, so the variety of engagement that we make with the communities, with the students. Yeah. And besides that, also we have a leadership development series program. Yeah. So this is under we attach this program actually with the course available at UKM GSB, especially in the leadership course. Yeah. So we have Datuk Khairul Saleh, Datuk Dr. Hafsa, as you can see, Datuk even Puan Raja Azura. Yeah. So these are the members of this is the sharing session that available at UKM GSB. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all. Yeah, that I would like to share with all of you. Yeah. So finally, I would like to thank you for choosing UKM GSB and wish you all the best as you begin an enriching journey that is challenging and demanding yet exciting. So rest assured, you are well on your way to a transformative learning experience with memories that will last a lifetime. So do come and be part of UKM GSB community where there is no end to advancing knowledge and education. So I wish you all the best, every one of you. Yeah. So so these are the things that I would like to share with you. Yeah. After this, we'd like to hear also from Dr. Sharin. Yeah. Dr. Sharin would like to share something with us this morning. Yeah, about UKM GSB. Yeah. What's the benefit for continuing studies at UKM GSB? Yeah. So I think I pass back to the chairperson, Shami.
Right. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Zafir Khan Muhammad Makbul, for the presentation and the speech just now. All right. For your information, I mean, all of you guys, it is actually what we call it a session where you can engage and asking questions. So whenever or wherever you have the questions that you want to raise or you want to throw to us, please do so. We are delightful to have to answer your questions regarding anything about GSB, UKM GSB, you know, about program, DBA, PhD, and MBA. Because here today we have our key people in organizing all those programs and, you know, that will provide you guidance along the way throughout the journey of your studies program. All right. Before we proceed to Dr. Shahrin here with us today, I would like to give a few glimpses of Dr. Shahrin actually. So Dr. Shahrin, as mentioned by our Dean, Professor Dr. Zafir, is the former CEO of Matrade. And I believe he's a very experienced guy. He has more than 10 years experience in the government agency. Yeah, Pemandu and everything, yeah, Dr. Shahrin. And more than 20 years in oil and gas industry, which is the industry I was before. And then 10 years as a lecturer of engineering in UKM, Dr. Shahrin, isn't it? So Dr. Shahrin has, you know, lead many delegation inside and outside Malaysia when he was appointed as a CEO of Matrade and also in the government agency. So I believe it's a very great opportunity for you guys, especially to engage with our adjunct professor here today so that it's actually it's not easy. We try to bring Dr. Sharin here, and thank you very much, Dr. Sharin, for the time you spent here today with us today. All right, without further ado, I would like to invite Senior Dr. Muhammad Shahrin Zainuddin Madrus. Please welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Shami.
Yeah.
Thank you for the introduction, Professor Zafir, Dean of UKM GSB, fellow Deputy Dean, fellow directors of GSB, colleagues, and friends from potential students of UKM GSB. Good morning, Assalamualaikum, and welcome to the session. First and foremost, let me just echo what Shami just said. Rather than me giving a lecture, I really appreciate a more lively discussion so that I can address exactly your concerns. But to kick off, let me just give a bit of my views and my perception on why we are here. Now, I'm sure we are all here because we have lots of you who has registered your interest to join GSB, and my role here is just to give that little bit of push for you to go ahead and sign and join in. So so the fact that you guys have shown interest, it goes a long way to say that you've considered it, you've looked at it, and and you understand why doing a master's or pursuing further education is important. Now, let me tell you this. We are living in a VUCA world, in a world full of uncertainty. There's so much variability, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity in the world we live today. And if you follow the thought leadership like Jim Collins and a lot of other thought leaders, the first thing in any organization, the main ingredient to get organization, association, a country to move forward is to have great leaders. And I joined UKM GSB as an adjunct professor, and my sole purpose really is to share my life work experience to train future leaders, and that's my interest. And therefore, I teach leadership at UKM GSB to share my experience because I believe, education is not just about theory. Education is not just about looking at the books. I'm sure there's so many of the qualified lecturers within UKM GSB can share with you all the latest knowledge and the theory, but the other part of it is really to share real life experience and what you need to do and what you will face in real life, and that involves a lot of guidance, and there's a lot of lifelong learning in order to acquire that leadership skills. Now, anyone who teach leadership will tell you that to be a leader, and everyone is a leader to start with. If you follow many of the thought leaders in this discipline, they will say that everyone is born a leader, but leadership is something that you can learn. And to acquire leadership skills, it's about understanding yourself, it's about developing yourself, it's about understanding others, and it's about building that relationship between you and people or the stakeholders around you. So if you have all that capacity, then you can grow as a leader. Now, three main components on leadership that to me that's very, very important is, apart from your intellectual capacity, your capabilities, what you learn, the theory, in school, in classes, whether it's finance, whether it is governance, whether it is management, legal framework, and so on and so forth, organization structure and all. That's all on the intelligence side. But the other side of it is the emotional side, and that's where your ability to understand yourself, the ability to really grow what you are lacking and what you can improve. And that's why you are attending this session, because I believe your interest here is basically about growing yourself to become a better person and hopefully to become a better leader. Now, the third part really is, while you have the capacity, intellectual capacity, you have your emotional capacity. The third part is about integrity. And in this current world, what you see and you see all around us, the demand in a more globalized world, the demand in a more connected world, where you see social media interaction, it's a period of gratification where everybody see things instantaneously. So ethical behavior becomes something that people see on a daily basis. So integrity is going to be a big component of you to become a leader. And that's what I hope, to me personally, to convey in my classes. Yeah, because it's about building future leaders. Malaysia, the world at large require future leaders. And if we were to develop, globally as a connected community, we need to be able to talk to each other, to learn from each other, to grow and support each other. And this is where I believe, why we are all here, to develop ourselves so that we can communicate better with one another, to understand better with one another, to develop ourselves and to develop others. I hope that when you consider doing your masters, your doctorates and whatnot, it's not purely academic. It's about being a better person so that you can communicate, you can contribute in your organization or your society. And people join in to do masters and DBA for various reasons. Some of you maybe for looking at personal development. Some will be looking at promotional because you want to grow in your organization. But when you look at this whole thing in totality, it's really about your personal development to be able to contribute to the society, and the monetary or the position, those are add-ons, those are icing on the cake. But to become a better person, to understand, to be able to think critically, to be able to communicate well, to be able to lead the people around you, I think that there are so many of those items that is beyond the textbook, uh, and this is where personal sharing is important. This is where experience is important. Sharing of experience is important. So on that note, a bit of my background, like what Shami said, I've been more than 30 years since I started my career. I spent 20 years in oil and gas. I've worked in Malaysia, in Europe, in America. I've worked with people down in Australia. So it gave me a big global perspective in the international corporate world. And in 2010, about 10 years ago, I joined the Malaysian government. I was in the Prime Minister's department and developing policies for the oil and gas industry. So it gave me a bit of perspective in terms of governance from a government perspective, looking at industry. And, over the years, from being a corporate person, looking at profitability, looking at how to manage organization, when I moved into the government, it was all about how do we help the industry at large, not just a company, but the whole industry. And when I left the government, 2 years ago, after heading, division, setting up, a new agency, setting up, representing the government at the global scene and whatnot, my passion now is more about developing future leaders. From developing companies to now more on developing future leaders, because I feel personally that for Malaysia to grow, for the country to grow, for any country to grow, it will depend on very good future leaders. If you really subscribe to Jim Collins, in his classic books on building to last and good to great, you will understand that he mentioned it very clearly that the exceptional organization have exceptional leaders, and that's important. Yeah, because it's about you becoming a better leaders. The IQ part, where you learn all the tools in UKM GSB, will give you all the ammunition. But you have to personally grow. And that's important because when you grow, then you know how to use the tools better. And that growing part, you may sit at UKM GSB for 2 years in terms of developing all the armory and the tools for you to be able to be effective. But the personal development part will go on all the way until your retirement. And believe me, when I left the government 2 years ago, in a retirement mode, you don't really retire. You have a lot of things to contribute as you gather more and more experience. So that is what continuous learning is all about. You never stop, right? So like the good old saying is from cradle to grave. So you never run out of, and this is what embracing doing an MBA is all about. It's a graduate is a thinking individual, but the masters is where you grow from just a thinking individuals, but to be able to communicate and influence others, and to also to have the mastery of that art, so that then you can influence people around you. So I hope, to me personally, the fact that all of you has shown interest to do an MBA indicates to me that you have a desire for personal growth, and that's a very, very good start. So what you need is really to commit, and believe me, growing is a continuous effort. Growing requires you to go beyond your comfort zone and to always push yourself at the edge of the comfort zone so that you keep on learning something new. uh, and no one else can do that unless you personally have a desire. And your desire today to attend this session indicates to me that you have that interest. But what you need is guidance. Now, I'm not going to go into, I think Prof. Zafir has mentioned on why UKM GSB is the best place to come with all the lecturer, good lecturers that we have, the capacity in terms of resources, the good buildings, the good facilities, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things that UKM GSB being in a very ideal location, close proximity to Kuala Lumpur, and so on, that give you a reason why UKM GSB is the best place. But to me personally, uh, it gives me the pleasure of actually assisting you to become a better leaders, and that is where my personal drive in all of this. Really, I do wish that should you join UKM GSB, my drive after 30 odd years from corporate world with the government is about sharing the experience that I have, to complement all the theory with the experience and the wisdoms, hopefully, that you have acquired over the age, and that component there is so important. And UKM, I know, are very pro business, are very a good institution that really promote good collaboration with the industry. And I think that's extremely valuable, because in a world where there's so much uncertainty, there's so much complexity and ambiguity, you need to learn not just within the classroom, but to look beyond the classroom. And hopefully it become a spark for you to venture, once you graduate with an MBA, to have a different kind of mindset, a different kind of thinking, where your drive in life is no longer just because of profitabilities, dollars and cents, but there are greater reason to live and to communicate and to influence people around you, your society, your organization to become better. Now, like I said, I don't want to continue. I can continue talking. I mean, short of being a politician, like lecturer is just the next person who you get to pay to stop talking. So, so I rather had a more interactive session because then it's easier for me to address your interest and your concern rather than me talking about my interest and my view. Because this whole session today, I hope it's all about you. It's about you making that decision. It's about you addressing your concern, why you should sign on and commit. And I'm here to assist you to make that decision. So I really look forward for the interactive sessions rather than me talking for the next 1 hour. So with that, Shami, I think I'll pass back to you, and I hope to have a more lively interaction from the audience. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Insigne Dr. Shahrin Madros. Actually, I would say Dr. Shahrin is very, very experienced. One of our adjunct professor that is very experienced in his field. So I would like to invite you guys to take this further actions and opportunity to have a very, what they call it, very interactive communications and also session with Dr. Shahrin, because I say that Dr. Shahrin is very, what we call it, very popular among our students. He is the most popular adjunct professor actually among our students because he is like to engage with our students. Yeah. Before that, maybe I would like to invite just a few minutes. Mr. Vivek would like to say a few something. Vivek.
Yep. Thanks, Shami, and thanks, Dr. Shahrin and Prof. Zafir, and also Dr. Fairoz. Hi guys, I'm Vivek, the guy who always bug you guys to join for this program. So I have also sent a link at the chat box for the MBA group. So this group is for the MBA students. So it's September intake. So yeah, jangan terkejut, jangan shocked with the name. It's called ULA. It's because the term of an acronym of ULA is unlearn, learn, and relearn. So that is why we call it ULA. So yeah, you can see the photo there. So it's still stated as snake there. So yeah, please join the group, and we shall, if there's any okay, Miss Ras Atika, I'll send you in a bit, yeah, the WhatsApp group. Okay, so what you can do is you can drop me any questions, or you guys can also interact with the upcoming intake students as well. That the participants or the group participants are all actually these MBA students who's going to join in the September 2021 intake. So, and also I have also set up the links, or I've also attached the links of our UKM GSB official Facebook and also Instagram in the chat box. So please do like and follow us. We will have we will update most of our things over there. Everything, the items or the events and stuff, everything will be updated via the Facebook and also Instagram. So by the way, guys, yep. Okay, thank you, Miss Nadia. So, and also please join the group. And if there's anything you do, you may drop me a message personally as well in WhatsApp at 017-691-3410. I repeat, 017-691-3410. I will leave my phone number over there. So if there's any other concerns or issues that you'd like to arise to me and stuff, you can just write it to me via WhatsApp. Yeah. So I think that's all from me. Thank you, Mr. Shami, and thank you, guys. We shall keep in touch in the group, in the ULA group. Yeah. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Vivek, over here. Okay, I see we have almost like 70 participants here joining with us today. Shermaine Chan, Dr. Hanan, Father Muhammad, Fakrana, Hamiza, Atifato. So if you guys, can maybe, switch on your camera, turn on your camera. So we have what I call interaction session. Yes, maybe you guys can, asking something to us, wanted to know something about us. And if you guys wanted to have what they call it, maybe a question to Dr. Shahrin, please do so. He's willing to interact with you guys here. Yep.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you,
Yes.
Nadia.
Yeah.
Nadia.
Okay, so my name is Nadia. I would like to ask a very simple question actually. So as you know that we haven't been studying quite a while, so hence the MBA. So I would like to know how intense is your MBA program? I mean, do every student able to, actually very strong finishing the program till the end of the program because due to our age and things like that. So I would like to hear opinions and feedback from the UKM team here. Thank you.
All right. I think maybe we shall start with Vivek or Aizat or Dekan or Dean Zafir. Dean Prof. Zafir.
Let me proceed first. As I mentioned, Nadia, thank you for the question, Nadia. As I said, MBE is a very unique at UKM GSB, yeah, because we are practicing the modular systems, yeah, modular systems, and what the uniqueness of our MBA. Actually, this is quite a very typical MBA. We are focusing more on management, marketing, finance, economics, and so on. Yeah. But what the uniqueness of our MBA, as I mentioned, yeah, if you are enrolling in this MBA program, besides the accreditation of the ABAS 21 and Aacsb, is about the project paper at the end of the semesters, at the end of your studies. Yeah. So the normal MBA, not you have to do a thesis, a project paper, some sort of thesis writing, dissertations. Yeah. But the uniqueness of our project at the end of the semesters is about the project. Is a community engagement. Yeah, it's a community engagement project. Yeah. So this is more practical rather than you are focusing more on thesis writing, all the methodology aspects and so on. Yeah. So we are looking more practical approach in our MBA programs. So this is a uniqueness of our MBA compared to the other institutions. Yeah. I think this is a more attractive methods, yeah, in our MBA. So if you ask about the curriculum, it's almost the same, but we are practicing the modular. It's a 4 meetings for one course actually. Yeah, one course is we have 4 meetings. Yeah, I think Dr. Wan is here. Dr. Wan is a Deputy Dean of Academics.
Yes,
Yeah?
Dr. Wan.
Dr. Wan is a Deputy Dean of Academics. Maybe he could explain about the community projects at the end of the semesters. Yeah. So these are the uniqueness, Nadia. This is special about the MBA at UKM Graduate School of Business. Yeah.
Nadia's interest is basically in terms of how intense.
How intense or how tough
Yep.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, how tough and how
how
intense
toughest,
it is.
how toughest. I
maybe
mean,
Prof.
this
Wan
is
can talk about,
maybe
how many hours.
yeah, the toughest of the MBA. Yeah. But Nadia, this is beyond the textbook. That's what Dr. Shari mentioned just now. It's beyond textbooks. If you're following these textbooks, meaning that we have to follow week 1, week 2, week 3 until week 14. We follow chapters by chapters. But this is our MBA is more practical one. We don't condense all the contents in the subject matters in the 14. Let's say the normal session is 14 weeks. So we don't condense it, but we are more practical. We are more practical. We're looking beyond our textbooks. Yeah, Nadia.
All right.
So maybe Dr. Wan would like to add something, Dr. Wan, or Vivek.
Dr. Wan, please.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dean. Okay, I would like to add on what the Dean have already mentioned. So we are practicing modular log stack. Modular log stack means that you have to go one subject at one time. For example, you go for the financial management, and so you will go the courses within that 4 days only, and 4 days class. And then after that 4 days, you don't have to wait by the end of that. You remember or not? When you doing your degree, you have to wait at the end of that semester. You go to the hall and your friend, and so no need like that. And only 4 days. And you go, for example, financial management. 4 days after that, you finish. You don't have to worry about that. And every day, you've been doing within that 4 days. So we design our content within that 4 days. So you have to do the presentation, you have to do the assignment and everything within that 4 days. And it's just like you go to the training. After that 4 days, and then you get the certification, and then after that you finish. You don't have to think. So that's why most of our part-time students, they will count down. They will count down. Okay, this subject finish, this subject finish. Then they waiting for the convocation lah. And after that, so this is only happen at the UKM lah. So they are waiting for that. Okay, so that is,
Thank you, Dr. Wan. Yeah,
yes.
this is more systematic, Nadia.
Okay, and then about the we have also MBA project, and that MBA project is different from the other university. We don't have what we call the thesis for that, and that MBA project you must form a team. So you form a team, and then after that you have to do a project related to the society, and because we train our students to giving back to the society, and so we train them. They just like Dr. Shari mentioned, you want to train you to become leader, and so how you want to form a team, how you want to conduct a good project, and then giving back to the society. So this is what the MBA project about. And we don't have thesis. You don't have to write a full thesis and then after that you submit. No, not like that. It's a group project. And then every semester we doing the final grand presentation. So you have to present your MBA project for the society and for all your team member lah. After that.
Can I add?
Okay, yes, Dr. Shari.
Nadia, just to add, I think I hope they answered you in terms of how intense the program is lah. But my perspective as someone from industry who comes in and who have interest in UKM GSB is basically this. Right, I see all the students attending all the financial, the management, the organization classes and whatnot. To me, they are all very academic. That's fine with me, because that's a requirement. You must do that because that's the IQ part. That's where you learn the theory about what's the current theory on management and so on. But what I'm interested in is I sit down with the group that Prof. Wan was talking about. Where you have the end of the year, they have the CSR program where they imagine if you have 100 students, they group them into 10, so 10 in a group, and the 10 in a group will then do a CSR program. And that CSR program, the group then has to look at a project, a CSR project, where they use all the things that they've learned from financial, from organization, from communication, strategy, leadership, and whatnot, right? But me personally, I engage with the student and I advise the student. And I would challenge them the way they think. They have to think like a master student. They have to learn to bucket the question. They look to learn to listen and communicate well. They got to learn to be critical, because the expectation from my angle is you need to do a program that is befitting to your master's qualification. And that's where I would emphasize in terms of where you really learn the practicality. It's like running a new, although it's a CSR program, but you're literally learning all the entrepreneurial skills, the management skills, the leadership skills, where you really apply it, right? And that is where, to me, those kind of guidance are actually more practical, more experience-based, that you cannot learn from just a theory. The guidance that you get from, the discussion in terms of when the group come to a lecturer and say, I want to do this project. The project is about this. And for me, I would challenge them in terms of their thinking. Why? How are you going to do it? What is it you're thinking about? What was the consideration you go through? Is it something that is just mundane, or is it something quite revolutionary? Is it something that is more bold and more, unique and more innovative, right? And this is where the applied knowledge becomes very, very important. And to me, you learn about how to work as a group. You learn about the dynamics of the group. You learn to understand. I teach on leadership, and I emphasize in terms of understanding the psychology of your team members, the psychology of your group members, how you're going to manage them, how you're going to be an effective leader in managing all of these people, because that's what you're going to carry with you when you go back and apply it to your organization, to your society, right? And to me, that is the invaluable part. Yeah. Sorry, talk a bit too much.
Thank you.
All right, Nadia.
All right. I just wanted to add a bit for the Nadia's questions. Okay, Nadia, in terms of perspective of alumni, because I was the product of this MBA program beforehand, back in 2017. So I would say it's very, very, what we call it, not to say intense, but suit your, what we call it, everyday and daily life activities actually. Because when you do, sorry Nadia, are you enrolling in part-time or full-time?
Part-time.
Yeah, part-time, because most of my friends also come from part-time students before this. So they really enjoy the classes because as mentioned by Dean, Dr. Sharin, Dr. Wan before this, our classes is actually on the modular stat-log modular basis. And we do have what we call it alternate classes. So 1 week with classes, another week of classes, back 1 week with classes, and then another week of classes. So basically you have the time to do your assignments, your quizzes, like Dr. Wan said just now. So it's kind of hectic. Somehow we as a, what we call it, a full-time working people can adapt and can cope with the study program and modular basis. So this is one of the uniqueness, as our Dean said just now, that our MBA is one and only, I would say, in Malaysia, that doing this kind of what we call it structure, so that our full-time working students especially can cope and adapt with the situations. Yeah, that's my response, Nadia. Right.
Thank you.
You know, Nadia. Like I said, I mean, all of you that's attending this talk, are driven by your own personal reason why you want to join. The other side, I mean, to me, I'm driven because I'm passionate about developing future leaders. I've been on this UKM adjunct professor. This is my 3rd year, and I have 150 MBA students that I have, taken and lectured. And I can tell you, all the 150 MBA students are on my WhatsApp group. Even they have finished their courses, and so once you become attached in my class, you will see me for life. So I even after you finish your MBA, you'll still see me in the WhatsApp group and coaching and guiding you guys to become leaders. That's my commitment, at least. I don't know about the others.
That's great to know. Thank you so much.
All right. I believe there's a question in the chat box from Liao. He or she would like to know about the concept of the program, and as mentioned, this is a unique type of MBA. So how is the CGPA or grading being determined? So maybe Dr. Wan, as a Deputy Dean of Academic, and Cik Aizat can help. How the system of our grading system, CGPA and everything.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this one would like to know the concept of the CGPA. CGPA, yeah. I think normal kan. I think normal so you must get mostly you you must not get below than 3.0 and 3.0. And so you must always maintain your pointer and 3.0 lah kan. If you receive lower than that, and so you will have a problem lah kan. Maybe you will be terminated and within the program lah kan. And so the you want to get A, I think you must at least get 80% lah, and 80% of the mark, and then after that you get A, and then after that there is normal calculation for the CGPA and for the grading, and then before you go to the class, and you go to the class, and mostly the lecturer will mention how they're going to evaluate you, and even though the lecturer also have to upload all their courses lah, all their course online and within the online system, so you will know, okay, when you do quiz, how much the mark for the quiz and for the assignment, for that, so that is we leave to the lecturer lah on that, and okay.
Right, thank you, Dr. Wan. Yeah, I saw someone from the chat box would like to ask the question. Skyrol, maybe? Skyrol.
Shafiq wanted to ask.
Shafiq, yeah. So either one.
Shafiq.
Hi, Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shafiq. Yeah, perhaps this question will be to Dr. Sharin. I do believe he's at least relatively the most neutral. If he's not, but I really think he's the most relatively neutral over here. So perhaps would you mind to share with us what are the three, I would say, selling points UKM over the other program, for all of these prospect students over here to make up their mind. So and then perhaps the request will be more focusing towards to the software itself. I mean, let's put aside the facilities, the name, the campus, and so on, which yeah, it is important, but perhaps not the primary area that we are looking at. So that would be my question, Dr. Sharin. Over to you. Sure. Thanks.
Thank you, Shafiq. It's hard to be neutral when you are actually part of the. I mean, but I give you my personal opinion. Okay, and if I were to be completely neutral, that's why I wanted to start. I mean, if you see all the professors here, they are employed by UKM. I'm not. I'm an adjunct professor. Yeah. So in that sense, I'm not like under their payroll. But the fact that UKM actually embrace a lot of industry people within UKM GSB, okay, to me is an indication that they have an interest not to be just academic. That's important to me because, like I said, my background is really from the corporate world. With it's kind of unique, yeah, because it's either people you find some of the adjunct professor, the other two adjunct professor, they are corporate. They've never been in the government. Okay, I've take like 20 years in the corporate world and 10 years in the government, so I see both sides of the corridor, and in the sense that I've seen many of the students in UKM as well is a good combination of industry as well as government staff, okay, government personnel that join the UKM GSB program. So the mix is quite colorful in the sense that some people do MBA not purely just, like I said, not purely just on academics front. Yeah? Some people do join MBA because of the networking that you get, okay? Because it is where you find experienced people wanting to continue their education. So in that sense, looking at an organization that has a bit more a combination of not just academic is important. Okay, so if you ask me to rank three things, okay, so one to me is the industry components, because I feel that at masters and level, you're not supposed to be academic. You're supposed to be thinking people. You're supposed to be leaders and masters of the discipline. Okay, so in that sense, I don't believe being pure academic is sufficient. You need a lot of a dose of reality on the ground. So that's one. Secondly is the kind of when you do your group session, that like what you've heard earlier, and your project and your group session, your group becomes very important. There's a lot of group effort. There's a lot of group work, and through that you develop a lot of networking and friends in the group. I think that's the second part. Yeah, but to me, some people go to do masters. They look at more true when they do PhD. Yeah, when I did my PhD, for example, it's not just the institution, but I also look at who the lecturers are. Okay, because then you need to know, are they fit to guide you? Okay, I'm being very purely neutral here. So to me, understanding. So if you look at, for example, in UKM GSB, the fact that they are bringing in people like Tan Sri Shahrial, and all, the heavyweights, like, the chairman now is Tan Sri Wahid. There's a lot of actually knowledgeable, wise people within the circle of UKM. I think that's probably the third part which I feel is important. Yeah. For me personally, I'll give you the bonus. You have me. I'm very passionate about teaching future leaders. So you're not going to get rid of me easily, because I'll be chasing you. So so if that is the bonus in your quest, like I said, all my students become a very personal agenda for me to help guide and become, because my agenda, like I said, I started from the corporate world. I helped many industries on the profit side. I moved to the government because I've decided that profit is not enough. It's about helping the industry. But after in the government, I understand that helping the industry is, you can't help it's an 80-20 rule. Yeah, so you cannot help all the 100 people, but if you can help that 20 people that help the entire organization, that 20 are the future leaders. So my if you like, parting agenda really is about helping future leaders. And to me, if Malaysia were to grow, if Malaysia were to become competitive, the answer to it is in the future leaders. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, can I Shafiq?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's about to me, Shafiq. When we are doing our MBA programs, yeah, I think most of us have gone through that journey, right? Masters of Business Administration. Time management is very crucial here. Yeah, time management is very crucial here, because you have to do a lot of assignments, a lot of projects, and so on. Yeah, so as what Dr. Wan mentioned, it's a modular basis. It's a step, it's a lot program, modular. Yeah. At the end of the programs, it's a project papers. As I mentioned, it's a community engagement project, and of course, yeah, it will minimize your time. Yeah. To me, time management is a crucial factor here for you to embark on these MBA programs. Yeah, Shafiq, I think are you enrolling MBA or what?
MBA
or doctoral program?
No, yeah, doctor. MBA so far.
MBA, yes. So
yes.
I think yeah, MBA programs. Yeah, I think time management is very important. Yeah, time management is very crucial here compared to the other institutions. Yeah, because some of the students who embark on the MBA program, they got stuck with the final project papers. They can't completed the program because of the project papers. Yeah, it's a 6 credit hours project papers. Actually, we abide the rules of MQA. We translated our community engagement projects towards the methods of the project papers. Yeah, actually, it's almost the same, but this is different. We are looking beyond the classroom, beyond the textbooks. How we want to apply our knowledge to the communities, to the public. Yeah, so this is more important to us, and it will minimize your time actually, because you are doing in the group work. Yeah, okay, perfect.
If I can just share while waiting other people to come up, unless someone have any questions, if not, I'm gonna continue talking.
Yes, Dr. Sharin, I think Cairo.
Cairo,
Cairo.
silakan Cairo.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. It's related to I must say it's a very interesting proposition. By the end of the program, we will have a community engagement project. I did a bit of research, before I decided on UKM MBA program. I must say I'm quite intrigued with the Bank Negara, MIT Sloan, that, but it's the cost is exorbitant. It's beyond me. I'm not in a position to actually get a sponsorship. So, but yeah, I must say their program is very interesting because one of the components, right, is that the student is required to do a project, right, and you're supposed to actually engage with a organization or business, and you get to actually do a real life business problems and helping the company or the organization to address the problems. So now this is interesting because I think UKM has a similar approach, but instead of focusing on business problems, I think you focus more on community projects like a CSR, like what Dr. Sharin said. So I'm just trying to understand, better here. What is the thinking behind why CSR project? Why not a real life business problems? Yeah.
Okay, can I answer that instead of someone else jumping in, because I had the first-hand view in terms of I'm not going to justify why it is CSR. I think it should be beyond CSR, but that's the maybe Prof. Zafir can answer that. But let me give you my perspective on that end of the year project itself. Yeah, because personally it's like this. In my view, whether you call it CSR, whether it's in a corporate social responsibility, right, or whether it is helping a particular company, right, it doesn't matter too much in the sense that you are actually asked to apply what you have learned, in terms of organization, in terms of leadership, in terms of your critical thinking, in terms of your finance. So the assessment of that program actually, there are I think something like 16 items in the assessment which look at your ability to use what you've learned, okay, in solving a real problem. That's the crux of it. Yeah. If it is to me, I would have it. I've looked at the program and I've looked at the group doing this. My interest in that actually is where I personally go in and challenge the group in their thinking. You've learned about financial, okay, how that finance translate into your program. You've learned about management. How do you that translate into management? You've learned about critical thinking. What kind of critical thinking have you demonstrated in running your program? It's actually a very rigorous thing if you want to take it very personally, and you can really make a real effort on just doing that alone. Yeah, it's quite so. But the beauty to me is all the courses should have this kind of critical assessment where it's not about you learning the theory, it's about really understanding the theory on how it's being applied. Yeah, so to me, I've attended Harvard courses. Okay, I've attended many of this, being in the corporate world. like I said, I've worked in the US, I've worked in Europe, I've worked in Australia, many parts of the world, and attended many of these leading edge schools, executive program management and all. Okay, and to me, the gist of it is really about building your personal armory and your ability to translate what you learn in a creative way on solving problems. Yeah, I mean, solving problem here in a very wide sense. Because, for example, when you are running with 10 people, how do you apply your leadership skills in coordinating among all your stakeholders? How do you apply your leadership skills in managing your team members? How do you apply communication skills in terms of active listening, advocating your ideas to your panel group members? I can teach that. I give a lecture on all that. But to really see that whether you understand is when you actually do a program, and I'll be there to question you and say, you're not demonstrating the things that you've learned, or you are actually implementing what you've learned. And that is, to me, they say that a minute of reflection is worth a lifetime of knowledge. That reflection of understanding what you learn and how you apply is to me the gist of all these courses that I've attended, whether it is Harvard, whether it's in the UK, whether it is in Europe. To me it boils down to how effective you are in translating those tools to be able to solve problem, to move an agenda, to create a vision, to achieve your goals. Yeah, so to me, why CSR? Maybe Prof. Zafir can answer. But to me, the thought process, the thinking that goes behind it, your implementation of it is what I will then go in very detail to see whether you've learned or you're now have the mastery of what you have learned. Okay.
I think it's beyond CSR, Dr. Sharin, but maybe Dr. Wan could add. Maybe solving business problem is also the application process, the application that we can also do in the final project. Yeah. Maybe Dr. Wan could add that one.
Okay, thank you, Dean. Thank you, Dr. Sharin. Actually, it's not CSR only, and so because right now, because of the pandemic, and most of the students focusing on the CSR, and but before that, before this kind of thing, we also have the consultation. For example, you can also, for example, the one that asking Carol, you asking right?
Yeah.
So, for example, your company have a problem that you want to solve, and then you can form a team. And you can form a team, your friend, your MBA student, and then you go to your boss, or maybe you are the boss, and so you can say that, okay, we have this problem. Okay, how we want to solve this? And also you can do like that. But you must form a team. You must form a team. That is the importance of the leader. And you might get the consensus from all the leaders, how you want to make sure everyone agree that, okay, we are doing this kind of project. So that's why most of the students right now, they are doing CSR because it's about giving back to the society rather than do consultation. Rather than do consultation, of course, they will give benefit to one company only. And so when they're going, so when we're doing society, so it give more impact. And so it's up to you. For example, because there is the end of the semester, and you can do the project. And so when you have problem, for example, in your company, you want to scale up, you want to do the digital marketing, okay, and so you form a team, and what is the how many of you in form a team, and then you design, okay, what kind of digital marketing, because I'm teaching digital marketing, so what is the platform, what is the channel that you can use, you want to use it, SEO or what, so you can propose to your company, and but you must get the consensus from all the team so that it can be done like that. Because next semester also, I'm telling you, next semester also, I have a group of students that will do a project with the Felder company, and so there is a Felder that asking to to one group of students, okay, to do a helping the FEDA. FEDA is one of the department at the FEDA. It can be done like that. And it's just like you need to get the consensus on it. Everyone already agree, then you can do it. And,
Yeah,
okay.
actually, it begins with the problem. It begins with the problem statements. Khairul, right? Khairul, you're asking just now, right? So it begins with a problem. So when the problem has been identified, either this is related to the community problem or the company problem, and then how you want to solve this kind of problem. So rather, it's either you want to solving a business problem or community problem. Yeah, so these things has been aligned with what Dr. Sharon mentioned just now, how you want to apply those kind of knowledge that you have gathered from these MBA programs and so on, yeah, like accounting, finance, management, HR, and so on, how you want to apply that towards solving community and business problems.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I've answered your question, Carol.
Yeah, okay. Just one additional question. Is there prescribed methodology on how you actually, carry out this project, or how do you actually do the, the problem solving process for this project? Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm sure that
we have the guideline. We have the guideline, but
I think,
that is the end of your semester.
Dr. Wan can answer that.
That is the end of your semester, so you don't have to worry right now. When you enroll for the first semester, you don't have to worry. By the end of that, the end maybe on the semester 3, on the semester 4, then we will release the guideline. Right now, you don't have to worry on that.
Actually,
Carol,
this is a methodology of solving this kind of qualitative research. Yeah, like solving business problems, applied problems. Normally, I give you the typical method. Normally, they go for the SWOT analysis, for example. Yeah, strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, and how you use your strength to overcome your weaknesses. How you use your strength to gather or to grab all the opportunities that you have in the market. Yeah, so maybe you can use this kind, or maybe Porter 5 forces model. Yeah, you study about the competitors, your potential of your products, yeah, of your customers and so on. Yeah, so this kind of method that you can apply when you try to solve business or community problems. Yeah, so beside the things that Dr. Wan mentioned, you will have separate session before you embark in this project. We do have like workshop, right, Dr. Wan?
Yeah.
We do have workshop with the students how you want to use several methods in order for you to solve these kind of problems. Yeah.
Can I just add?
Jerry.
Carol, just adding clarity to this whole thing, because I think last week I was one of the examiner or one of the external, I wouldn't call examiner, but one of the evaluator of that
Assessor.
Assessor. That's right, the word. Thank you. So, and I was one of the assessor for this program. Yeah, this project, this group project for last semester's students, right? And there were 10 groups. I think about 8 or 9 groups look at the impact of COVID to various communities and whatever, right? But there was one interesting group that looked at how do they help a pelarian group to cover their cost of survival because they cannot be employed. So they look at the entire business model of to help the pelarian to be sustainable so that they can generate fund with a private entity outside. So they design the entire, they look at the entire ecosystem value chain on how to make sure that the pelarian can be able to sustain their own financial condition rather than being dependent on purely donation. That was a very nice, interesting program because to do that, you look at how do they make sure that their income is sustainable? What is the source of income? How does that tie to the business? What is the business needs? How does the business needs tie back to the resources within the pelarian community? So you know, you look at the entire ecosystems, and basically we have to assess whether the students, the group, has considered the value chain, has considered the entire system, has considered in terms of continuity of the project once the program is over, how to make it sustainable, and look at in terms of the financial part, how to make sure that, you know, the funds generated, you know, how does it get channeled back without, you know, bypassing government requirements. So I mean, so it looks at those kind of things. But to add color to that, to me, I would love, for example, right, a group of a smaller group, you know, instead of 10, a group of 5, for example, and this is a suggestion to UKM GSB, you know, a smaller group, but goes to a company. So we can partner with SME Corporation or Matrade or Maida. I mean, identify one company, doesn't matter which company, but goes to the company and say, how can we transform you? That's a very, very challenging thing. Yeah, I think we need transformational leaders. For us to transform a nation to become a high income nation, we need transformation leaders. To transform an organization require a very, very fine skill on change management. To do change management, you need really good communication. How do you manage all of that? I mean, to transform, you need to do the SWOT analysis. You need to have clear purpose. You need to have clear objective. You need to clear strategy. You need to have to identify what are the initiatives. You need to make sure that they're the right people. You need to so it involves literally moving a company from one position to a higher position. We're not interested in terms of whether you can achieve the results. We're interested in your thought process. Are you thinking, so if you going out and work in an organization, can you think like that to change your organization? If you can do that in a project, you can implement it in any organization out there. That is, I think, the critical part. To have more leaders who can transform organization will then change a society, change a country, change the future of our country. That, to me, is why I'm passionate about doing this.
Thank you, Dr. Sharin.
All right.
So I want to add, right, we are doing that, Dr. Sharin, next semester. I'm doing with the Felda.
Okay.
Felda.
I look forward to challenge the students.
But the most important thing, we have to sign the NDA lah, kan? NDA, non-disclosure agreement for that. So all the students they must comply lah with all the information lah, kan, that we reveal by the organization lah, kan. So there is, you must know, if you want to do that kind of project and to your company, and so you must get the permission. You must get the permission for them to reveal all the information to you. So that is why it cannot simply, when you go to the company and then they want to give to all of the information to you lah. So if, for example, if you are attached with the company and then you ask your boss, or you are the one, the boss, and so it is much easier for you to conduct that. But before you do that, you must form a team. You must form a team, get all the people, 5 people, and 5 people or maybe 10 people. Right now, the minimum is 8 people lah, 8 people in one group, and then everyone agree to do that kind of project related to the particular company, and then you can sign all the NDA, and then you cannot disclose all the information that related to that company lah. So this is the process that you must follow lah. That's why I'm saying that is toward on your third semester and fourth semester. You don't have to worry right now because you just enroll in the first semester. Okay, yes.
What I really like to see is this. I've worked in industry long enough to see, you know, work with McKinsey, with Bain Consultant, with the KPMG, with many of the top 5 consultants officers, and you see how they do things and what the approaches are. So this is like, your group is like a mini KPMG. Your group is like a mini Bain or McKinsey. So you know, I'll be evaluating you whether you can work as a team, whether your thought process sound. So if you finish the project, you'll be more enlightened in terms of how to manage an organization and how to transform organization. That's what matters. Yeah.
All right, Dr. Sharin. Thank you, Dr. Wan, Dr. Prof. Zafir. I guess we move on to the next question because I believe there's a tons of feedbacks from our chat box and also from our potential student here. Thank you again, Cairo, for the questions. All right.
you.
Okay. Next, I would like to welcome Shushil. Shushil is Shushil here?
Hello to everyone, Mr. Shami, Dr. Zafir, Dr. Zahrin, Dr. Shahrin, Mr. Vivek. Okay, I have a question. I've just graduated from political science course, but I do wonder if in the future I will learn about things related to accounting, right, finance. I don't have any background with that, so it'll be any problem in the future because I will learn those things. But I do follow up things related to economics, investment, just in a general picture. But because this is a master level, I'm quite worried actually. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. With a proper guidance, because for me, I don't have any issue with learning new things, but with a proper guidance, everything will be okay. Yeah.
So that's thank you, Sushil. I think that's a very academic question. Whether you, as a political science student, can do accounting, or economics, whatever. Then probably Prof. Wan can answer that.
Okay,
very
thank
academic.
you. Okay, thank you. And okay, we also have student and medic and doctor and join our program. We also have pilot and we also have engineer and so we also have nurse and we also have pharmacist and that join. So you have to learn. There is no problem regarding the finance part, because I'm not teaching finance, but I think the finance and also the accountant, and so it will slightly difficult for the accounting for the calculation part lah. But they all the one that I'm asking the student, so it's a challenge, and but you can learn along the way, and then if you have any problem, you can ask the lecturer for that lah. And so for me, as long as you are open your mind and then you are willing to learn, I think it is easier for you and to get the knowledge. And it's not difficult. And but if you have to put, maybe for those that already have a background in the accounting, they don't have any problem. But maybe you have to put extra effort and to learn to that. But I think it should not be a problem lah, because most of the students that I noticed, they can go and also understand. And that even my background also, I'm degree and my master is in law and I'm a lawyer. And so right now I'm deputy dean at the business school. So it's not a problem lah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
If I can add, Sushil, if I understand you must be still quite young, because you just recently, you said, completed your political science, right? How old are you?
Yeah. 24.
Okay, so you're still young, and you know, to me, younger people, your minds are still fresh, academic is still fresh. You know, accounting is not additional maths, so there's no integration, or you know, my background is engineering, so I don't think you have to worry about the mathematical side, as long as you know how to use your calculator. It's just about understanding the principles of accounting. Anyway, that's my take lah. But of course, if you're not familiar with the topic, you got to put extra work, like what Prof. Wan was saying. But as long as you have the willingness to work hard, nothing is impossible. Yeah, because you know, honestly, the future is so volatile, right? What we need are leaders who are agile and flexible. I've seen in my years in the industry who has basic degree in completely something different than what they're doing. I became a specialist in engineering, and now the last 10 years, all I talk about is economy. Okay, so you know, I can talk to you about Malaysian trade. Okay, and I literally remember the numbers at the back of my fingertips. not engineering anymore. So literally engineers, mathematician, political scientists, lawyers, don't confuse between your first degree and your occupation. They doesn't have to be. If it is a match, it's good, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, in the future world, okay, critical thinking is what you need. You learn about critical thinking, whether you do maths, whether you do engineering, whether you do political science, you do accounting. You need critical thinking. That's the basic. You need to know about, a legal framework, whether you're an engineer or not. But, so to me, you've seen a lot more people out there, the requirements, because as the world get more globalized, as the world get more connected, nowadays we are living in a world of information age. Okay, where literally you don't need to know anything. You can ask Mr. Google. Mr. Google can tell you anything, right? So it's not about what you know, it's what you can do with that knowledge, and that requires your determination, your skills, your critical thinking, your willingness to work hard. So those are the skills that become more and more prominent as we move in the future. So to me, I wouldn't worry too much in terms of I don't know about accounting, and therefore I don't think I can pass the course. I think the accounting part is not the issue. The issue is, are you willing to work hard to acquire knowledge? If you're willing to put yourself at the edge outside of your comfort zone, nothing is impossible. That should be the thinking of all future students, not I cannot do this, I cannot do that. There's no such thing as you cannot do anymore, because you can't. You just look YouTube. YouTube will teach you anything.
All right, thank you, Dr. Sharin, Dr. Wan, for the response. Sushil, don't worry, because I was also one of the students graduated with this UKM GSB MBA, and I was before my first degree is in engineering also. So don't worry, you can make it to the final. No worries, to the finish line actually. All right, so we move on to the next question. I believe there's a question from Syed Makruf Reza regarding the DBA program, so our doctoral program. So would you please share the basics of the DBA program in brief? So like the structure of the program, evaluation system, approach of the DBA program in UKM. Yeah, maybe I'll pass to Dr. Wan and Mr. Isaac in terms of DBA program, Doctor. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Sheikh Maru Reza. Okay, for the DBA is a coursework and coursework for the doctorate. And so, okay, when this is just a basic lah. And so when you enroll for the first semester, and when the student enroll for the DBA, they don't they have to go through all the class and for that. And so for the first semester, they will go for the research methodology class. Research methodology class first semester, and then second semester, research methodology class as well. And then on the third semester, so they will go through the specialization that they choose. For example, if you choose, you specialize in marketing, so you will go through the 5 class related to the marketing. And then if you specialize, you want to specialize in the finance, you go to the 5 class lah for the finance. And after you finish the class, then you will write a thesis. You write a thesis and for the specialization or for the topic that you choose. And then along the way, we will also assign you a supervisor that will supervise your thesis and also your progress. And at the same time, also you have to publish article. That is the requirement by the UKM. So you have to publish one article and one article related to your research. So that is basically the overview of the DBA program lah. Mostly the student will finish the DBA program within 3.5 years. 3.5 years or maybe 4 years. That is normal lah. And 3.5 years and then 4 years. So why I'm telling you, so that you can plan your journey. Because mostly that one I will advise the student when they enroll for the DBA or PhD program. So you just take your plan lah. Within 3 years or 4 years, you finish your PhD or your DBA. And after that, you can proceed lah, whatever the plan that you want to become. You want to become consultant, you want to apply for the lecturer at the university, or you want to attach with the organization. So it's up to you. But I always advise the student, please plan, and within 3 or 4 years, you will finish your DBA and also PhD. So basically that is the overview lah. And if you want to know more, you can when you enroll, the head of doctoral program will give you all the details about the subject that you have to take and regarding your journey for the DBA. Okay? Okay, Mr. Aizat nak tambah. Then Mr. Aizat.
Yes, sir. This is Sud Marufreja and good morning from Bangladesh.
Yes.
I'm really delighted to have you all, the senior professors and doctorates here. And it was really charming and learning opportunity for me. So thank you so much for your nice answer. And as you know, I want to ask one more question if you don't mind. I'm in teaching profession. I'm teaching marketing here in Bangladesh.
Yes.
So I'm really interested to explore my career opportunities with the exposure I'm getting from the DBA program. So I have a simple question to you. How many courses I have to take in first semester? The only research methodology course?
Yes, it's a method 1 and it's a method 2 on the first semester, on the second semester.
Okay. So I'm not confused. I'm just asking you one relevant question. Many of my colleagues, they are telling me that as you are teaching, as you are in teaching profession, so you should join a PhD program, rather a DBA program. But I think DBA is a good blend of the theories and practices, so I can learn the both theory with a practical view. So, what you would like to comment on this topic? Should I go for PhD degree or should I stick with the DBA program?
Okay. So, okay, if you ask me, very simple one. What I will ask the student then, what you want to become for the next 5 years? So what is your plan? Whether you want to go for the academic, and whether you want to become the consultant. So because if you want to go for the academic, mostly academic world, they are required you to have a PhD. But right now, university also accept the DBA for that. So it is, and also if you attach right now at the university, so you must look at the requirement and whether the university prefer for you to go for the PhD or for you to go for the DBA. And so and the one when the student saying that after 5 years they want to become consultant, mostly they will go for the DBA. They will go for the DBA because after they finish, they can attach to the organization. They don't attach with the university. Because DBA is what we call combination between the learning and also doing research. So that is their plan. So you must go back to your drawing board what you want to become for the next 5 years. And if you say that, okay, I want to with the university, so better for the PhD lah, for the PhD. If you want to say you want to after that you want to attach with the industry, you go for the DBA. But the one that I'm saying, if your university also okay with the DBA and also PhD, it's better you if you have knowledge in doing research and you don't have to go to the class, and it's better for you to go for the DBA lah. And if you don't have knowledge in doing research, and so you can enroll for the DBA. But no need to worry, you can change from DBA to PhD. If you enroll for the DBA first, and then after that you say that oh, I want to change for the DBA or for the PhD. It can be done. You can change for the PhD. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Wan. I think DBA actually, Syed, you're asking question just now, right? You asked question just now. DBA focus more on what I can say, more practical oriented research that aims to fulfill the needs of industry and the economy. Compared to the PhD, you are required to develop a new theory or have an original approach of an existing theory. Yeah, so it goes back to your aims. Yeah, as what Dr. Wan mentioned just now. Of course, either PhD or DBA, you have to seek approval from your institution, right? Right? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I think they know already DBA orientation, PhD orientation. Yeah. Both of them are quite similar, but DBA is quite practical compared to the PhD. Yeah.
Yes.
So what Dr. Wan mentioned just now, you may change if you, let's say you enroll at the beginning of the process as with DBA, and then you want to change your program to PhD. What I can say that what you miss is actually you pay fees. You have paid your fees, and then you have gone through all the lectures. Yeah, because DBA, yeah, I mean the combination. You know, this is a mixed mode program, the combination of several courses and then dissertation. Yeah. To me, if you ask me, frankly speaking, I can what I have gone through so far, DBA is a quite challenging compared to the PhD. That's why Dr. Wan mentioned just now, you must have a proper plan for your DBA program. Yeah, you must have in mind what kind of research that you want to do. Yeah, so that in the beginning of the process, you start engaging with your supervisors. Yeah, even though we haven't notify you with the certain supervisors, but it's okay. You may identify your supervisors, potential supervisors, and you may engage with them. Yeah, in the beginning of the process. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
So
sir. I have a plan
so
to
it goes
explore my.
back. It goes back to your aims. Yeah,
All right.
Said.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
All right.
yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Said Maruf.
I have a
And
plan to explore my career opportunities in consultancy industry even in future.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I'll stick with the
All the
DB
best to
program.
you.
Thank you so much.
all right.
All the best.
All the best.
Okay, thank you, Syed Maruf. Okay, I think we arrived at the last questions because of the session is going to end soon. So maybe hoping from someone can respond to the question from Lau, actually from chat box. I am an employee to a well-growing local SMI company. I am involved in sales and product at the moment, but the management truly treasuring the capability of the employees. Will my study and what I practically learn here will practically assist me in the climbing up the ladder? Of course, grow together with my company rather than purely theory and concept. Yeah.
Short answer, yes.
Sure. No problem, Doctor.
Short answer to that, simply yes.
Yes.
To me,
Yes.
okay, so but you want a long answer, whether you climb up a ladder, I've seen in my 30 years of career, I've seen people who just with a degree became an MD, managing director, and I've seen people who has a PhD who remain just a technical specialist. So so the answer really lies on your personal drive and what the course, at least in my view, my agenda, like I said, not your agenda, my agenda here is more on helping you to become an effective leader. So hopefully, if you join my class, my leadership class, it'll be more on how do I transform you so that you can learn from all the tools that you've learned within UKM GSB so that you can become more effective. You see, the thing is this, people sometimes, it's just because of their pure hard work and pure, if you like, work ethics, they become successful. They do things without knowing because it's just part of their being, their way of life, right? So because of that, people look at that and you grow. So successful people can be either attitude or your aptitude. Okay, so it can be a degree certificate, whether it's a degree, a master's, a PhD, is just a certificate to acknowledge the level of knowledge, the level of information you have in your head. But your attitude, this is where the leadership skills comes in. To be aware of your own strengths, to be aware, to be able to manage your own strengths and weaknesses, to understand your stakeholders and how to manage the relationship between you and your stakeholders. That is what we call EQ, the emotional quotient, the emotional intelligence part of you. So if you learn on leadership and you learn leadership is more emotional rather than intellectual. Okay, so if you have acquired all this emotional intelligence, you then can put the framework on how you behave. You can understand why you behave in a certain manner. You can understand why your stakeholders behave in a certain manner. Then you learn how to manage your relationship with your stakeholders. If you learn all of that, you will become more successful. That's for sure, guaranteed. Right? But if you do even without knowing that, but you're already doing that well, then you can still be successful. It's just that you don't know that what you're doing in a context, in a very in a framework to address why things become successful, right? So to me, learning leadership, in all these MBA courses and whatnot, allow you to gain that knowledge and understanding why and how you could behave, and if you follow that, if you practice that, then for sure you will be successful. But this time around, you are successful because you manage your success, not by chance. I think that's important. That's very powerful, right? And this is part of continuous learning. That's why within the UKM GSB MBA courses, one of the parameters in all of the courses is continuous learning. So if I've taught you about leadership, how much have you learned about leadership to continue yourself by your own? Okay, to invest your own time, you invest your own effort to continuously develop. That's important because after all, any university courses is constrained by time. 1 year, 2 years, the most 4 years. But after that, you're on your own. So a career can be a lifetime, right? So it's really attitude. Your attitude will play a big part in terms of how successful you are. That's a long answer.
All right, thank you, Dr. Sharin. All right, I believe we arrived at the end of the session for today's. And again, thank you for joining our pre-admission program for today's. And I would like to thank you again, our dean, and also our adjunct professor for joining us today. Spending your time with our potential future student. Hopefully, we will see them in this upcoming intake registration. Yeah, Prof. Zafir. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, before we end our session for today, maybe one or two words from Prof. Zafir to have a conclusion on today's program. Yeah.
Okay. So as what we heard from very reputable persons in senior Dr. Sharin Madros, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Yeah, Dr. Sharin and the rest of my colleagues. Yeah. To all the potential students, by whatever route you came to be here, to me, you have made a wise choice in selecting UKM GSB as your place for postgraduate programs. Yeah. So I would like to thank you for choosing UKM GSB and wish you all the best as you begin your enriching your journey that is challenging and demanding and yet but exciting, as I mentioned just now. So do come and be part of UKM GSB community where there is no end to advancing knowledge and education, as what we have mentioned just now, as what Dr. Sharin mentioned just now. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's all from me. Yeah. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Zafir, for the closing words, I believe. And yep, my last word is that we hope to see you guys on the next semester, which is the registration will be on September, isn't it? Vivek, yeah, September, yeah. Okay. Our registration, as Vivek mentioned just now, is everything is online, 100% online. So we do hope to see your name and your metric numbers being generated into the system. All right. Thank you again, Prof. Zafir.
Thank you, Shamin.
Dr. Sharin.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
For the members, yeah.
Good luck.
Please,
Thank you, everyone.
Guys, please scan the QR for your attendance and also feedback. Before you guys leave, we would like to take a group photo. So give us a moment. You guys can scan and fill up first the feedback and also the attendance form. And we shall take a group photo in another 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, then guys, can you guys please switch on your cameras and we shall take a group photo, right? Thank you.
So thank you guys for those
Wow.
you know, from Bangladesh, China. We do really
Nice.
appreciate
Everyone
your
on the
your
camera now.
presence.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice to see you guys. Encik Padil, I think you can snap. Okay, I think next page, please. Okay, done, settle.
Done.
Done, settle.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So last word from me before I forget. So I'm also reachable via my WhatsApp at 017-691-3410 if there's anything that you would like to ask me or like to raise any issues or concerns. Or you can also reach me at vivekraj@ukm.edu.my. I've left my email and also phone number at the chat box. And also if there's anything, you can just drop a message at the group as well. Yeah. So I think that's all from me, Mr. Shami. I give it back to you.
Yep. I think that's it for today's session. Thank you very much again. Thank you everybody for joining us on this weekend. Have a blast and see you on September.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Sharon.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Kejayaan dan kegemilangan UKM Graduate School of Business, UKM GSB, tidak tentukan dari mana ia bermula, tetapi bagaimana ia digunakan. Pepatah lama Melayu ada tenukil, patah sayap bertongkat paruh, patah paruh bertongkat siku, patah siku bertongkat dagu, patah dagu bertongkat kuku. Semangat juang yang digambarkan dalam pepatah ini amat sesuai mengiringi diaspora UKM GSB mewarnai perjalanan sepanjang menjadi sebuah institusi ke arah top business school di Malaysia.
Thank you, team.